The first women's lifestyle magazine was published over 300 years ago, back in the 17th century. Now the industry consists of over 9,000 titles in the UK alone and has survived through 2 world wars, recessions, the invention of radio, TV and for now the internet. They have undergone many changes over the years thanks to advances in technology, but due to the move from print to online, their future is in jeopardy and has led to the closure of several magazine titles. A perfect example of a magazine that has embraced technology is Company, the monthly fashion and lifestyle magazine. They have created a multi-platform for themselves with 2 print products, their website, an app, and Facebook and Twitter accounts. Although the magazine content and layout has changed since it was first published in 1988, the editor and the team decided the magazine needed to reflect the fast pace of fashion and needed a revamp. The magazine cover now mirrors those of high-end fashion magazines such as ID, Dazed and Confused, and Love magazine. The layout of the magazine has a scrapbook feel to it with different fonts and collages of images. Company got their inspiration from fast-paced, on-trend blogs, which is reflected throughout their magazine with eye-catching images and easily digestible features to create a strong brand for themselves. On the other hand, Reveal, the weekly celebrity gossip magazine, only launched their website in July this year. The fashion and web team talked to me about their attitudes towards technology and the future of print.
I think they will always have a place, but I also think a lot of people just like reading a magazine.
Yeah.
But I do think that some areas are really going to change. Like, I think in celebrity magazines, I think actually it will start to really go downhill. I think it already has. But I think like glossy monthly magazines, people are always going to want that. Like, people keep them. I keep them like every single month.
Me too.
On their like coffee table. I think that's never going to change. But I think maybe weeklies might change. Yeah, and things like Vogue, you're never going to go for an iPad version of Vogue over the main thing. Like, you'd always want to buy that, I think. So it just depends which kind of area. I still think there's a place for it, or I think it will just change.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're ever going to stop reading magazines and stuff. But I think there will always be people who prefer print.
It's a fight to maintain interest in celebrity gossip.
Yeah.
It's difficult to create original content, though the magazine will do well on the back of TV series and things like that.
Yes.
If you hold back and resist change, you're in huge trouble.
Oh God, I don't know about always, but definitely I don't think they're going to kind of disappear
Anytime soon.
tomorrow. I think my going weeklies were becoming big. Everyone sort of talked about, it's going to be the end of monthlies. Actually, so the weeklies were the big thing in the market that was going to sound the death bell of the monthlies. And actually what's ended up happening is, if anything, I think the weeklies print market is going to dwindle. That's being replaced by web, but the monthlies are okay because they're propped up by advertising and they've almost gone more high end, and people will still pay for them. They just their expectations are higher, so they'll buy their really high quality fashion editorial. And I think weeklies, I don't know if they're going to be around in 5 years. I think print will always be around, perform a different function. It's divided now. I noticed it the other morning, and I was really struck by this division of so many people with Kindles or various e-readers, and then these 2 kind of old-looking dudes in their 50s with the hats and the Macs and their big broadsheets. And I just thought, God, this is one of those moments in time, moments in history that we'll look back on. And it must be like how the 60s was in terms of fashion, where you probably got these people who, like the Mad Men thing, you had the people who'd grown up being these sort of 50s housewives, and then probably on the same tube carriage, these 60s girls in miniskirt. Magazines knew the answer. They wouldn't be in a bit of a crisis.